Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Picks and Sticks podcast, a fun music podcast where four great friends talk about the music, bands, and songs that they love. I'm Moro.
I'm Gordo.
I'm Cecil.
And I'm Huff.
And this is Picks and Sticks.
Happy New Year, everyone. It's 2022.
What?
Hey, it's great to see the boys back here. Where are we, boys?
I miss you guys.
Yeah, I missed you too, man. We're in the palatial Picks and Sticks studio after a bit of a long break, eh? It's
Too long.
A little bit too long.
Way too long.
Yeah. It's great to be back, and we'll start off with the apology, right? We're going to try and be better this year, boys.
Yeah, I think that's our motto.
Right?
Be better.
So we'll start with the apologies to everyone that was expecting a Christmas special this year, but we'll say due to unforeseen circumstances, we were unable to get together to make that happen. However,
It's quality, not quantity.
you know what? I have heard that somewhere before. Great job to everyone out there who went back to listen to the 2020 Christmas special. That episode absolutely blew up over the holidays. I mean, we're talking record-breaking downloads, gentlemen, literally thousands and thousands of downloads. So
That's bananas.
yeah, so thanks everyone for your support.
I know, I was shocked. You sent me the email. You're like, is this for real?
Yeah.
Is this actually happening? I was like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's the stats. I don't manipulate the stats.
Well, that was great because you know what? I do think that's a great epi. So if you're going to jump in somewhere, that's a great place to start. So I will say, if you are new to the show, obviously, thanks for joining us. Feel free to email us with your thoughts, your show ideas, or anything else you want to talk about. Maybe, tell us how great we are or how stupid we are. We get both of those as well. The email address is picksandstickspodcast@gmail.com. You'll also find us on social media. Instagram is Picks and Sticks Podcast. We're on Twitter, Picks and Sticks 2. And speaking of social media, we had a lot of feedback from our Stairway to Heaven versus Bohemian Rhapsody conversation from the last episode. Now, we don't want to rehash that conversation. That's not the purpose of bringing this up. But maybe, Mauro, if you've got that clip, just fire that up just to bring people up to speed if they missed it.
Yeah, I got that clip.
I was curious that Stairway to Heaven was in the teens and not in the top 10.
It's unlistenable.
No,
Is it a fact that
not a fan.
you guys just heard it too much and so that's it?
It's okay.
Yeah?
It's okay.
It's okay.
Fuck.
I wouldn't even put it in their top 50 songs.
Run up. What?
What?
No,
50.
no.
Okay, now this is egregious.
That is
Can't listen to it.
Oh, my
I
God.
wouldn't. I don't know why I would.
really.
Oh, my God. I'll be right
when
back.
that
I got to run
freaking
upstairs and get a knife.
Pipe starts going, I freaking snap. Oh, I think of the.
I don't
I
know
think
what's
of
good
the.
about it.
What was that kid show? The Friendly Giant. What was that? No.
Yeah, the Friendly Giant.
Yeah, that's the image I get as soon as I hear the. It's not too rock and roll.
I'm just not a fan of the song.
Well,
And that's fine. Not the top 50?
Well, and I'm not even going to ask you to walk that back, Mauro. You've said it. You got to live with that. But
I walked it back in the podcast. I said 50 was a little
you softened
extreme. I said maybe
40.
30.
Yeah, maybe you're still that. But what I found, out of all the stupid things that we've probably said over the number of episodes that we've done, this one really sparked some pretty good debate on social media. And I'm just going to give a shout out to Maureen, who was brought a really interesting take that I thought, because you start talking about one song versus the other, you have your favorites or whatever. And her point, she was a Bohemian Rhapsody person, and she went back to that Live Aid commercial. Yeah, it's commercial now. Concert that they made the movie around, like there was all that footage and stuff like that, and
that concert gives me goosebumps.
right, and
When you get some the radio goo goo, that was the peak when they're doing the clapping all in unison. Ooh.
it's one of the probably greatest rock and roll performances you'll see on video anyway. But anyway, I just thought it was really interesting because her thing was like that's what brings it over the top for her. So there was some interesting things there. I mean, overall, it was Stairway to Heaven kind of won out. If you wanted to tally it up, it was like a 4-1. But I thought that some of the points, I felt like the people that picked Bohemian Rhapsody had to defend it a little bit more. So there was a little bit more sort of verbiage behind that. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting. So shout out to Maureen from Instagram for getting
Thanks,
into
Maureen.
the conversation.
Thanks, Maureen.
She also had another great.
It's a funner song. It's just a funner song. It's more fun.
Okay, so are we doing? Next podcast we'll do funnest songs.
Funnest songs ever?
Then it's different.
She also had a,
You know what?
Short skirt, long jacket.
I don't even want to get into it, but
You should get it, sure.
it doesn't deserve to be in Led Zeppelin's top 20.
Okay,
It doesn't.
okay, that's
And I'm good with that.
like you must have missed the first part where I said I don't want to rehash the conversation. I was just trying to, bring it. Anyway,
I can't help myself. I can't help myself.
Maureen said something else, and that stuck out with me when she said, "Back when bands used to be bands," and I was like, "That is really interesting."
That's true.
She said something to that
Yeah.
effect, right?
very, very frightening, man.
She's a
What
big
does that
Freddie
mean?
Mercury fan.
Yeah,
It's like, how do you know if you don't know? The hell does that mean?
yeah, that's right. Well, I don't know.
Bands were
because-
bands.
'cause- yeah, well,
Sorry about that.
Well, it's true. We were having a conversation, Chris and I, earlier, and we were talking about, there's a generation of people that, like, depending on what happens with this stupid pandemic, but if we end up spending the rest of our lives the way this is right now, which is really going to suck with masks and all that shit, there's a generation of people that won't remember or never experience the old world, and they'll see, shows and old concert footage and stuff, like, where there's tens of thousands, pardon me, hundreds of thousands of people, and they'd be like, "What the hell
That'd be sad.
is
People
going on?"
drooling on each other.
Oh yeah,
That's
just
the saddest
sweating.
story. That's the saddest thing I've ever heard. If
Right?
that doesn't come back
I know,
like all the time,
I know.
there's gonna be a new generation of like angst rock and death metal, freaking pent up people, frustrated.
Maybe that'll be the new,
Yeah.
the next
Pandemic metal.
pandemic metal is amazing. Absolutely,
If that,
pandemic
if
metal.
that becomes a genre, see ya.
I do
Nice.
have to say one thing. I watched the Jerry Cantrell.
Oh
You're
yeah.
in the studio with Gord. Just Gord and I were sitting here watching it on the screen, and he did a whole live set, and it was fucking phenomenal. It was really good.
It was great.
Now, would I have rather been there?
Always.
Yes. But to watch it on the screen live, and it was taped live, and everything was live, and it was actually really well done, and it was awesome. So
I'm sad I missed that. I'm not a big Cantrell guy or a big Alice in Chains guy, but that's something I would have liked to have seen.
yeah, but you know what it was? It was just watching live music.
Yeah.
That because we haven't been able to do that for a while.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the production on that was incredible too. Like they did such a good job.
It was a small venue, right? Like
It was. There's maybe 100 people, 150
Yeah.
Okay.
in a fairly spaced out like theater.
okay.
But the sound was fantastic, and the band was great, really good.
Huh.
he just did it right. Like he was like, can't have people here, can't be in a stadium. We'll just do it right, and I don't know. I think we're gonna see more of that. I don't.
Like small
I
venue
agree.
shit, you mean?
Yeah, I agree with you. Like my kids, I'd love for them to see, like, go to the Saddle Dome, see like 30, 40,000 people cheering on. But it doesn't seem like it's going to be that way for a little while. But
Yeah.
It better be by June because I got Rage tickets.
Yeah, you do.
Fuck, delayed 2 years.
Yeah.
I could have cashed them in.
Well, I'll let you know what happens. I've got ZZ Top tickets in Lethbridge. I think that's in April or something like that.
That
at
might be
the
kind of
Lethbridge.
close.
yeah.
yeah,
So it's small arena. I don't know. There might be. I bet you there'll be maybe 1,500 people there. I'm imagining.
Be outstanding though.
you wear a G-string on your head.
You could just do that now.
I'm trying to figure out what the hell that means. What is that?
Well, in place of a mask.
Oh. Jesus Christ.
The G-string mask that hasn't caught on yet.
All right. Well, we're not firing on all cylinders just yet. It is early in the year, but we'll try and shore that up. So what we're doing here today, we thought we would start out with something a little bit different. Call it underrated bands, or maybe maybe underappreciated bands. So we really did put the research team to work. We've got a full. We hired them all back. We realized that we really needed that research team, so we put them to work.
We moved around a few numbers, found some cash.
Yeah, we did. So the way this is going to work is
Paid him in Bitcoin.
Yep, paid them in Bitcoin. So who knows? We may have overpaid them, right? There was that.
No, Bitcoin's way down.
Years
You
ago,
got a
but there was
deal.
that guy that he delivered pizzas or something, and someone traded Bitcoin for a pizza or something like that, and now that.
Do you
remember that story?
Yeah, 2 Bitcoin. But he bought them way back, and I think his Bitcoin was
this goes back
8 cents.
Yeah.
And then now they're worth like a few $100,000. But
Yeah.
Anyway, what do you do?
Sorry, I got rattled.
You never know. You can't time it.
No, you can't. So, in any event, for the purposes of this episode, each one of us selected a band that we felt was, we'll say, underrated, or maybe, and I apologize, I probably didn't really get the exercise. Maybe underappreciated bands. We'll call it, underrated or underappreciated. We each picked 5 songs from that band. So there is, pardon me, a 20-song playlist that you will find available on Apple Music, Spotify, and YouTube Music. There is, gentlemen, I have some bad news. There is no more Deezer. Shout out to the 5th member of Picks and Sticks, Michael O'Coin.
Oh, no.
He jumped ship. He's going to the dark side. He's switching to Apple Music because he was pissed off. There's a bunch of stuff that wasn't available.
They shitbag Deezer?
Yeah. So he said, "Screw you guys." So if you're looking for stuff, if you're a Deezer person, apologies, but our main man Mike there, he couldn't get it done. So
wow.
yeah,
Appreciate you. That was freaking awesome.
I know.
Totally.
So that was great that he did that.
Thanks,
but
Mike.
who knows? Maybe we'll get him involved maybe another way, or God knows what's going to happen. Maybe he can be part of the research team. But
Well, we're going to have guests on this year, so.
yeah, no expenses paid to the palatial studio.
Awesome. That sounds good, man.
Yeah, round trip.
Bring on the guests.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Which I've already got one. I know we've got some stuff coming up, some different episodes, but I've got somebody chirping in my ear all the time to be part of something. We can talk about that a little bit later,
Oh, fuck.
off mic, because I gave him some homework. I
How
said,
about
well,
on mic?
I'm curious.
well, William McLachlan wants to get in on the Beatles conversation. I know.
Willie!
He doesn't even listen to the podcast.
Well, and that's what I said. I said, at the very least, I need you to listen to the podcast so you don't start going rogue and go completely off fucking script, doing his own thing, start talking about other shit. But
I can't take it anymore.
He's
Okay,
one.
I'm gonna we gotta give a couple minutes in the Beatles doc. I'm like,
We
it's all I'm
can't.
thinking about.
No, we can't.
We have to.
We can't.
Yeah.
We can't do it.
Gotta. We can't.
no, I haven't watched it yet.
You're going to have to wait.
Dude, just a bit. Just a prequel. At least up to now.
Okay.
No,
Okay. You know what?
What you want?
You know what?
Because you know what? We'll bring it up and no one will have watched it.
Okay, just the tip. Just the tip.
Dude, it's the greatest thing that has ever been filmed, period. It's not even a joke. It's like the best thing ever on camera. There's nothing better that's ever been filmed, ever, in anything. Movies, whatever.
I might agree.
It's the greatest 12 hours of my life watching this. It's
I
fucking
can-
incredible. Dude, I've never been so fucking overwhelmed. It's unfucking believable. You're watching Let It Be filmed in real time, being created,
yeah.
in
Written
real
and
time
recorded.
live. It's how the fuck has that been in a vault this long? It is stupid. It's too
Well-
it's too much.
But if I may, sorry to cut you off, Gord, and that's why I think Will would be a great addition for that particular episode, because he was actually alive and remembers watching that on TV when it went down.
No way.
How fucking old is he?
And just to refresh everyone's memory, that came out as a film in 1970, and it wasn't really too well regarded because the band had just broke up.
Yep.
And they kind of edited out the fun stuff and just stuck to the negative. So it wasn't really that well loved.
Okay.
So I think Peter Jackson did a wonderful service by re-enhancing all of the audio and the visual. Like, just a great job.
Yeah, I think Willie was probably 8 at that time, somewhere around then.
That's one of the few bands where we're all like not born yet by the time they've disbanded. That's rare for us.
Not really.
Well, come on now. We're old.
Zeppelin?
They were around till like, what, 79?
Were they?
Yeah, Gord was like 14. He was already.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means. Possible.
Yeah, I don't really know either, but yeah, I don't want to get too far into that because there were some things that I really, really loved about that doc, and then there was some stuff that drove me absolutely insane. And if I start going into it now, we're not going to get to the underrated
How about
bands.
the Leonard Skinner one? Why don't we go into that?
Well,
no, we won't. Let's save it.
That's on. Yeah, that was a great documentary, and that's on the queue. In the queue as
Yeah,
well.
watch that too.
But
There you go.
you need to. It's Leonard
What
Skinner,
band has 3
It's Leonard?
guitarists?
Superconductor.
And Leonard Skinner.
April
No,
Wine.
They had 7.
I like to rock.
They did well. How many does the Allman Brothers have?
I have no idea.
Allman Brothers had 50 guys on stage. I miss those old Southern rock bands that would just show up. It was just guys everywhere, instruments all over the place.
Mustaches.
Yeah.
As far as the eye can see.
Do we need piano
You and
and
your
electric?
mustaches. It's like an obsession.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so Leonard Skinner's on the list. There's a few others. So yeah, so stick around. Make sure that you stay with us for 2022. There's going to be some great shit. But let's get into the underrated / underappreciated bands.
Let's do it.
Any volunteers? Who wants to go first? Anyone? Cease?
Can I just say before we get
Yeah,
started,
yeah.
I like how you're struggling with the underrated, underappreciated. All these bands are well known, so let's be clear about that.
I don't know if that's true.
But
I don't think so either.
we just don't. I don't think they're well known enough. I don't think they got their due. They're all famous to their own degree, but
They're good picks.
I think they should have done better.
They're all suitable
All
for
great.
this subject.
I think they're different in each way. So what do we want? Do we want to talk about that sort of as a whole? Do we want to mention the 4 bands and just kind of talk, or do we want to just go band by band?
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
I think I want to say one thing.
Okay.
I want to
Spill
say
the
this.
beans.
Like, there's so many bands that are underrated, underappreciated. These are just 4 that we kind of found because we decided we're like, let's
Yep.
pick a couple bands. We could have picked like 3 or 4 or 5 bands each. This is just a couple, and I think there's more to come on this.
Yeah.
But all the bands we picked were like really good.
Oh, phenomenal!
Yeah.
Great
That's not
picks.
bad. Now that from a format perspective, we could have picked 5 bands each and picked one song from each band and still ended up with I don't know, maybe we'll do that for volume 2. Who knows?
Totally.
So what do you want to do? How do you guys want to do it?
Let's go band by band. Who's starting? Cease looks ready.
I'll go first because I almost didn't even participate. Morrow gave me this pick.
He assigned you a band.
Yeah,
I'm
trouble
glad
with
you're
this.
starting because I have a very important question once you get going. Okay, so who are we talking about here?
Fugazi.
Okay, so I gotta stop you there. Right? Is
All right.
it Fugazi or is it Fugazi? Is it?
Band goes by Fugazi, but if you're watching Donnie Brasco,
Yeah.
it's Fugazi.
Want to look at that jewelry? It's Fugazi.
But
Okay.
it wasn't really, but he got fucked up.
I was Italian. You probably pronounced it wrong.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, I was sitting there laughing because I've always called the band Fugazi.
Everyone calls it Fugazi.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Fugazi.
All right, so go ahead.
No,
Proceed.
I was just thinking like Cadillac Tramps, but they weren't like really underrated. They just never, they quit too early. They ended too soon. Clutch, we didn't want to do Clutch because Clutch we want to do we got to do a Clutch
Yeah,
show.
we'd like to do something more with that
Yeah.
for sure, if we can.
And then I thought the Verve, there's a great band, but again, just a band that just quit too soon, Like,
Yeah.
But so anyways, Morrow gave me Fugazi.
Fugazi.
So Ian McKay, singer, one of the singers, and he was the lead singer of Minor Threat. So
Yeah.
I was a huge Minor Threat fan. That's like
Okay.
if you want to like get your shit together, listen to Minor Threat.
Are they a DC band? Do you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
They
I
are?
grew up with so
DC.
Ian McKay, lead of Minor Threat, also in Fugazi.
Yes.
That's a Fugazi.
But I was shocked because Minor Threat's so like aggressive punk rock, I never really listened to Fugazi. This was an awesome pick because it was so not in your face. It was just like I don't know, it's just good. Yeah, I can't even describe the type of music.
I think they call them like post-hardcore, which I don't know what that means.
even know what that means.
They got a little reggae in there. They got a little everything.
Yeah, it's great. Like I'd
They're
rather listen to
progressive
them.
punk.
Well said.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
That's
I
that
really,
works.
I really like this pick, and
Thanks, Morrow.
I'm with you. This is not a band I listen to,
Ooh, me neither.
and I don't. And again, maybe this is why they're underrated or underappreciated, because this is completely in my wheelhouse, and it's always been in my wheelhouse.
Totally.
Yet I've never listened to them.
Yeah, I'm the same boat.
They never signed to a major label. They created their own label and they just stuck to it. And they were offered
that's Ian
millions.
Mackay, the Discord Records.
That's right.
Dude's
They were
like-
offered millions and millions of
He
dollars.
coined the term straight edge with the Minor Threat song Straight Edge.
Oh yeah,
Never drink nothing.
they would never. They never signed to a major. They did everything
Imagine
on their
that,
own.
No beer ever.
Really?
Jesus.
I didn't know that.
No wonder you're
I watched.
No wonder
did,
he's screaming at a wall.
did any of you guys watch? And there's not a lot of footage out there, but did any of you go on YouTube and
Yeah.
There was the one show. I don't remember if it was a show or if it might have just been one song or a couple of songs that they did. It was outdoors somewhere. It was cold. Like they're wearing toques. There was a little bit of snow on the ground or whatever. It was unbelievable. Like it was. It's maybe one of those bands that not only do I regret not knowing and listening to, but missing. I don't know if they ever came around here, but
I was thinking about it today. I'm like,
how did I not
I
see
was
this
like,
band?
yeah, I was like, how did I miss them? And then why I only had out of the next 2-3 bands, I had like one album of each of them.
Yeah.
I don't want to spill the beans, but then I was thinking after, it's like because you couldn't afford the freaking albums before. We had to pay $20 an album. Now you
Yeah.
just scoop them for
Right.
People just don't know how good it is these days.
I was looking through musicians that talk about Fugazi, so I went down that rabbit hole.
Oh, nice.
And David Grohl being from DC, Minor Threat and Fugazi were a huge, huge influence on him. But it was just weird to see all these very famous musicians saying, you know, they were young, whether they were teenagers or just getting their band going, and they saw Fugazi live, and all of them to a man said how that moment changed their lives. Like how Fugazi live, like in 89, 90, 91, just totally changed, and they knew that they had to be in a band.
What kind of musicians are we talking? Like, can you list a couple?
Huge spectrum. A lot of grunge guys
Yeah.
that were just starting out.
Yeah, I can
a
see
lot,
that.
a lot of straight up rock guys. A lot of metal guys. Some pop guys. I'm struggling to find some of the guys that were actually in this list besides Grohl. But
Yeah.
Grohl went on and on about him. Just
Yeah, as soon as I heard it was a
Huge
DC area band, I thought he's got to be in on that because he was.
they actually offered him the drumming position when they changed drummers. But
Oh, really?
he was in the band right before Nirvana.
he in
Scream.
Scream?
Yeah,
Right.
and he said how that was crushing. He had to turn him down.
Now, Moro, if memory serves me correctly, you were a Fugazi guy. Funny, there's probably, there's two bands on here that I remember you always mentioning. I never listened to really.
For sure.
So Fugazi was one of those bands that, like, did you own their tapes, CDs? Like,
I got 6 CDs.
No
back
way.
in the back room.
No shit.
Yeah.
Huh.
You know what the funny part of it? The funny thing is, I never learned anything about this band. I just liked their music.
Yeah.
And so I had their CDs. I didn't know anything about the band. Like, you know, like you hear stuff about Nirvana. You're like, oh yeah, that, you know. No, never knew anything about this band, but always owned their CDs. And I found they're like a progressive punk rock. Like they're not, it's hard to find a melodic tune in their repertoire in what they do, but they're unreal. Like musician wise, like the guitarists are so good, the drumming's so good. Like, but it's unreal.
Yeah. Do you guys remember the band Helmet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear
I
a
was
lot
going
of
to-
Fugazi and Helmet.
I was going to choose Helmet as part of this, but then I called it on. I've got a list, honestly, of bands that I could have done, and Helmet was one of them.
One thing I found interesting about this band is they played well over 1,000 shows in their career,
No shit.
and they've recorded, usually on the soundboard, 800 of them. And they've offered those on the website for a long time. You just pick whatever show you want.
Audio.
Yep. And they ask for a donation of between $1 and $5. And you just download it and you have it. And it's unedited. It's their whole shows. You hear all the screw ups and all the banter in between. And I listened to a couple, just random ones. It's really interesting. It's a really good idea that some other bands like Pearl Jam, I think, are starting to emulate.
Interesting. So we're not going to go through like the songs or anything like that. I mean, for the people listening, you can check out those playlists. But these 5 songs, Cecil, that you selected have made me want to listen to the entire catalog. So I'm going to be going on.
Hoffman just doesn't
Be
want
careful.
He doesn't want to. He doesn't want us to
No.
read the song named Two Beats
No, it's
Off.
it's
Beats off.
it's
He's
more
trying to get us
of
out
a
of it.
time thing. I'm trying to keep things so this isn't a 3-hour episode.
I do want to give special mention
Don't worry.
to Waiting Room and Give Me the Cure.
Well,
Are
list the
unbelievable freaking songs.
Waiting
Yeah, they
room.
are
I'm
good
going to read
songs.
them. Waiting room.
Hang on a second.
Just read.
What-
list
no,
them, and
wait.
we'll get over
While
it.
you're on waiting room.
yeah.
So this is again. I was talking to Gord about this, and so again, I've never owned any Fugazi CDs, tapes, any of that. I don't know anything about the band or any of that stuff. So it was last year. I was watching Peaky Blinders, and there was this fight scene, this wicked fight scene, and this song comes on. And it was unbelievable. And I'm like, I got to Shazam this thing. Like, what is this song? Yeah. And it was Fugazi.
Seriously?
It was Waiting Room. And so I added it to my Spotify. And that was the first time that I ever, and in air quotes, we'll call it owned, or possessed, I guess, any of their music. And that was like 2021.
I think I remember that episode, dude. That was a good fight scene, by the way.
No, sorry.
Salt.
Are
Go
you a
ahead.
Better Call Saul fan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you know the episode where he breaks into the, I don't know, like the enemy lair, Mike?
Beastie Boys.
Mike? Beastie Boys. Yeah. Beastie Boys?
Yes. Yes.
I don't think I noticed that.
Unbelievable.
TV shows are getting smarter with the music, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are getting
Sorry,
people are
Carl.
getting paid.
Go ahead and list
No,
them.
I don't. Yeah, the songs just Waiting Room. Peter, Give Me the Cure. 2 Beats Off. Exit Only. There you go.
Unbelievable. five.
Unbelievable.
Good range there too.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. So, do we want to just go kind of in alphabetical order? We'll just go with Gordo next. Gordo's got a really interesting one.
Sure. So I've talked about it on the podcast a couple times.
Yep.
I picked Screaming Trees.
One album wonder.
Well, that's what you think, right? That's what you think, but they're part of the grunge scene of Seattle, of course.
Yep.
Kind of on the coattails of the others like Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Nirvana.
They were on the single soundtrack.
But their first major label record came out in January of '91, before most of the others, and it was called Uncle Anesthesia, which was a good album on its own, but it was their 5th album.
No shit.
And it was their next one, Sweet Oblivion, that came out in 1992. That is probably the most well-known,
Yep.
and it's probably by far the best album.
Yep.
I don't know what it was. I had them in the same echelon as the rest of those bands when they were around. I just absolutely love Sweet Oblivion. I was reading an article just recently, and some writer was describing them, and he called them, they were the first out of Seattle grunge band. They're like a garage grunge band.
Oh, okay.
Garage.
Very
Clever.
witty.
I see.
Clever.
Clever.
And they've got what's that singer's name? They've got Mark Lanigan, who he's got that deep baritone voice.
He sounds like he sounds like he's phoning in to work sick.
Oh, yes. I want to hear it, man.
I won't be in today. As you can tell by the sound of my voice.
I've got a cold.
So are you saying you're not a fan of the guy's voice?
I know I like it. Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay.
So my history of that, I had Sweet Oblivion.
Yeah.
Love the album. I've heard 0 songs on any other album by them other than
Me
that
too.
singles song.
Yeah.
But I enjoy the album. Those are good songs. I enjoyed hearing them again.
Have you ever done that?
It brings
where you
you-
fake the sick voice.
It brings me back
yeah?
to a time in my life when I was 16 and she was 24.
Cecil punching above his weight.
You've never faked the
Way
sick
above.
voice?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
I've got a
Like
great
where you
one.
call in, and you're like, I don't
for sure.
today.
March Madness. You get warm up.
March Madness,
Get warm up on Wednesday.
Well, that's when you get your
U.S.
A
Thanksgiving.
little sniffle.
U.S. Thanksgiving.
We'll sniffle on Wednesday.
Yeah. When you take the Thursday off for the games, and then you can't get out of bed on the Friday, so you
Fucking
have.
easy to get out of it now. We got a sniffle. Get out.
Oh yeah, that's true too. It's way easier now. Well, I can't come in because I got a bit of a runny nose. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll see you in 10 days. Fuck you guys. Yeah, free vacay.
Yeah, it used to be, I have a cough. It'd be like, get your fucking
your
ass
ass
into
in
work.
here. Guys would be going in, or people, I should say, would be going into the office, and you'd see them, and they're like white as a ghost.
Doubled over.
They're dying, and it's like, no, man, this is the way we used to do it, right? You get your ass to work regardless, and you're in there, and then you get the whole office sick. Then everyone's mad at you, and you're like, listen, man, I had work to do. And now it's like, if you get, I got a little.
Now if you sneeze,
Yeah, you got to sneeze.
Go home
and people
for
are like,
3
what
weeks.
What are you doing? Here, wear this hazmat suit. Anyway, I was going to take you to task on this band a little bit.
All right, go ahead.
Saying that I like the band.
Hey,
You know-
hey,
oh,
hold on.
What?
I was gonna do the same thing, but
Okay.
after 4 listens,
Uh-huh.
4
Of what, the 5 songs or their entire
of
catalog?
all the 5 songs,
Okay. Uh-huh.
because at first I was like, I wasn't feeling it.
Okay.
After the 4th listen, I was like, you know what? Fucking good band, fucking really good band.
What's your favorite song out of the 5?
Okay, so I have some notes here.
I'm a big Troubled Times guy.
Times.
Yeah.
Troubled Times is amazing.
See, so
Troubled Times. Okay,
Yes,
but
unbelievable.
Here's my notes on Troubled Times. It's an outro. The whole song is the end of a song.
Yeah, that might hold up actually.
Listen to
Yeah,
the song.
yeah.
well,
The
That's not
whole
bad.
song is
I know what
such
you
a
mean.
good, and it's an amazing song. It's my favorite Screaming Tree
I can
song.
see an outro. Yeah,
The whole
yeah.
song is the end of the song. It's got such a melodic.
It
It just got a push. Amazing tune.
Yeah.
Amazing tune.
Okay.
I actually bought this on
well
vinyl
said. Nice.
a couple months ago.
Yeah, we listened to it.
Yeah,
Kind
your
of
birthday.
descending.
it's splendid on vinyl. It's fantastic. Troubled Times is my favorite, but I'd also give a shout out to Julie Paradise,
You got the shakes, man. You need a beer?
which my old band.
I could use a beer if anyone's close to the
Hey,
fridge.
Yeah, I gotta go to the fridge.
Okay.
Julie,
Okay, don't worry.
Julie
we can carry
Paradise.
it. We can carry this, boys.
Julie Paradise.
Yeah, that's probably my least favorite out of the 5. I'm a big Troubled Times,
Troubled Times is awesome.
Dollar Bill, and then I would go Dying Days.
Dying Days. Yeah, Dollar Bill's good because they
brother.
could do that slow stuff with his voice. Like it's just so baritone and full. I had to put Dollar Bill on there, so
It's a great song.
that's my pick for underrated. They unfortunately went through some management problems. They recorded their follow up album twice.
Mm-hmm.
They recorded it. They gassed the whole thing. They said it was terrible, so they re-recorded Dust. And I do have one song on the playlist, but
Is Dust
not
their
as strong.
last album, like their final album?
It's their final album where they're together. They came out with some B-side thing
Okay.
years later, and it's not really good representation. But Dust is their final album while they were a band.
Okay. So the conversation that I wanted to get into with this band and saying, I need to preface this with the fact that I like this, I'll say this band, or at least that album. I don't know much of their other material, but so when we talk about, underrated or underappreciated, are they really an underrated band, or were they just a band that struck gold with one good album? Like, is any of their other material good?
I do think they have 2 other really good albums that
Okay.
are underappreciated.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So, and you know what? People might disagree, and that's cool too. They did have some measure of success.
I don't know.
I don't know.
the answer. They came out in a time where Pearl Jam, Nirvana, there were so many good bands.
It's,
So yeah, they're
true.
really good, but are they in the league of those bands? Probably not. So, but I do think I got to say The outro song.
What,
Yeah.
Sweet Oblivion.
Like,
What?
it'll
Sorry,
stand up there with
what was that
any
year
of the
we
ones
reviewed?
on Pearl
92?
Jam 10.
It came out in 92.
Yeah,
Yeah.
another 92.
It is. That's a great point, Moral. Actually, that I would say that album would stand up with almost any of those sort of popular albums that came out of the Seattle
Yeah.
area at that time.
I put it right up with the other ones for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just didn't have the follow-up album that the other bands did. Otherwise, I think they would have been right there.
All right,
Yeah,
fuck-
yeah, maybe.
Fuck them next.
Fuck them.
You know, the problem they had, they never had a Mike McCready. Mike McCready's a fucking Stone Gossard. They didn't have those guys.
A Jerry
Gossard.
Cantrell. Yeah, a Colby.
Yeah.
they-
Flanagan's a great singer, but he's not Eddie Vedder. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like you had a Stanley Cup winning team, but you were up against the 1980s Oilers, kind of.
Really? Is that
Yeah.
the team?
1970s Steelers.
Oh,
Fuck,
whatever.
I'll change
That's good.
it. Whatever
That's good.
you
Yeah,
want.
whatever.
just kidding.
I knew that something was going to go sideways on that conversation. So anyway,
All right, what's next, brother?
next band is my band. I selected Incubus. It's a California band formed.
What is an incubus?
It's some kind of a demon or something. I think. I didn't look that up, and I didn't engage the research team. Stop asking tough questions right out of the gate, Cecil.
Never thought.
Jesus Christ.
I was never curious until right now.
Couple of underhanded ones maybe first. Hey, what year did they get together? Well, Cecil, that was 1991. Thanks for asking.
What key is redefining?
Yeah, right. What's the time signature of?
Can I ask a question before you get going on the
Yeah,
history?
yeah.
What was the process to make you decide this band? Because I think it's a great pick. I'm really
Suitable pick.
surprised that you went with Incubus.
I don't even know if we have enough time to actually go through the process because I had a number of different bands, and this is where I struggled in that.
What other
when-
bands are you thinking of? Just quick.
Well, I mean, there was Helmet, there was Cake,
Oh, helmets.
there was
Cock.
Cake's good too.
yeah,
Yeah,
Cake's
like the
really
cock.
good. Anyway, I don't want to list off too many because I'll probably use some of those in future podcasts, or episodes. But what I found, and maybe this isn't the gauge. If you look at say Spotify and it'll tell you how many monthly listeners that they have, right? And Fugazi's got very few. Melvins have very few. Screaming Trees are around a little bit more, around that 300,000-400,000. And then you look at Incubus and they've got like 5 million. But so the reason I guess where I struggled with this band is I don't think that maybe they're underappreciated. Maybe they're not underappreciated. Maybe they are underrated. I don't know. But I think what's challenging with this band is that they've got a lot of radio hits, and their radio hits aren't necessarily indicative of what a lot of their music is like, which is why the 5 songs that I selected, and you'll notice that I did pick one from 5 different albums on purpose.
Oh, it was a shit show.
Right?
Listening to your songs was a shit show.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. But
What's beeping?
but what I
Sorry.
what I struggled with
Fucking
is,
beer fridge.
I left the beer fridge open, Thori.
and then he comes out doing up his pants. Like, what were you doing over there?
You don't need to know.
Okay. So I like their sort of popular music. They're like Drive and Dig, and I mean they've got so many radio hits. But I think what put me over the top was I was talking to somebody about it, and we are talking about that band itself, and I believe it's comments like this that are the reason why there's so much violence in the world right now. Because the guy said, "Well, they're kind of like,"
Why am I laughing?
he said, "They're kind of like Maroon 5, aren't they?"
No, they're not.
What's
And I
wrong
was
with
like-
Maroon 5?
And I was like, "What
the hell?
And I was like,
Are they?
"That's what I said." I was like, "What the hell?" He's like, "Well, they're a radio hit band. They just make hits." And I'm like,
Oh, dude.
so that's kind of the background on that. So if I may, I mean, they've got 9 studio albums. There's a greatest hits album in there. I think they got a couple of EPs, and you can almost hear it's almost like each album has a different genre at the forefront. Like when you look at their influences, right? The bands that they list, it's Faith No More, Chili Peppers, Alice in Chains, right? Then there's Primus, there's Fishbone, there's Jane's Addiction,
Could totally hear Primus in them.
right? So there's,
Sneaky.
I mean, there's rock, there's metal, there's funk, there's jazz, there's hip hop. I mean, it's probably one of the few
Yeah, they're
rock
confused.
acts that there's
They
one.
seem good on their instruments.
Like they've
seem
got
talented.
a DJ. Oh,
Okay,
But
let's
you know what?
wait, wait,
You
wait, wait,
you know what I noticed most?
what's that?
There was a few songs on there, probably the last 3,
Okay.
which would be Circles,
Six Sad Little World and
and
Rogues.
Rogues, and they sound they had like a metal. It was a real metal edge,
Yep.
like Billy Talent,
That last song, Rogues,
almost
sounds
Billy
like
Talent-ish. You know?
Oh, Billy.
Sorry.
Really good. So I looked it up. I was like, they must be linked to that some way, but they weren't.
Okay.
What do you guys think about the DJ in the
Thank
band?
you. That's my question. I'm like hanging onto the
I
mic
love
right
Go
it.
ahead,
here.
Carl.
I think it's awesome.
No, I
Why
don't. I
not?
can't. I've never. No, even Sublime, one of my favorite bands of all time.
Yeah.
I wish they did it without the DJ. I don't like the DJ.
I wanted to
Like this-
crucify you for picking this band.
Yeah.
Limp
And after I
Bizkit.
listened to them, I was
Limp
like,
Bizkit.
no, I
What other
can't.
bands have DJs?
Yeah.
DJ
So-
bands. DJ
They're-
and rock.
they're good.
They don't
So
go.
let me ask you then.
I agree, Carl.
Sorry, we got too many conversations going on at the
Just
same
gotta
time.
snap
but-
out of it.
So more, I wanted to ask you. So were you a band hater, or like what was your like? What was it that
The minute I heard
angered you?
Incubus, I was like, I don't even know who these fucking guys are.
So you never really listened to them?
Not at
Okay.
all.
Okay.
And then when I did, I was like, I'm not sure I even like them. And then after like a couple listens,
Was it
That's
the
like the
fourth?
fucking-
Was it the fourth listen?
It's the third one.
The fourth beer.
yeah, probably the third one.
All right.
Yeah, the third one.
But and
Maybe
that's-
the second. No, but they have a different. It's weird because all the bands we picked, they're not. None of them are really melodic bands. Like they're not. They're
Well,
kinda-
Incubus is if you listen to their hits. That's
Some-
why.
some-
That's why I didn't pick any of that shit.
Yeah, the songs you picked here are definitely not.
Right.
Yeah,
I have to agree with
but
Carl.
they're good.
That
But
first
they're
song,
good songs.
that first song on your
Redefined,
is
unbelievable.
unbelievable song. But then there's this total unnecessary scratching. Wooka, wooka, tsk, tsk, tsk. It's just I want to take that out, and I
don't-
think it would
it
improve
doesn't-
the song.
DJs and rock band don't fit. I don't like it.
Really?
I can't think of one band where I like it.
It's distracting.
Yeah,
Some
I
bands
never-
it works, but this one, I don't find it works. I got
See,
another
I was
beat.
trying to figure out why you like it. So I'd rather ask you the question: why do you like it?
We're not
Because-
talking about DJs and rock bands today.
Well, because we don't have the answer. Unless you have the answer.
No, we have the
Like
question.
you, picked,
We
you
have the
obviously
question.
picked that song number one.
I didn't put them in any particular order. The way that I actually ordered them was in order of album release.
Well, that's fair.
So I just did them kind of chronologically, not in like this is my favorite of the 5 or anything. I just did them chronologically. But I'll just say this because there's a lot of on my left here. There's a lot of bitching, complaining about we're not carrying on the conversation about the DJ and the rock band. But you guys keep saying the same thing over and over again. One, you don't like it, and
We want
two,
answers.
Well, I
Well,
don't
they
have
don't
that
know
answer.
anything about
I don't
the
know.
band.
Is it?
Do you guys do any research on the band?
No, but they don't like the DJ part. So if you don't like the DJ part,
Whoa, dude.
right? And that's good. I don't have the
Sorry, what's
answer.
going on here?
Well, you keep saying
Dude, I've been sitting quiet for a minute. What the fuck?
no, you
Carry on your chat, guys.
Here.
Okay, I read up on the band. Here, I'm going to tell you something. The band has had an identity crisis since they started because they were like, we like all kinds of music. Like I read up on it. They're like, we like metal, we like grunge, Alice in Chains, we're the rock and roll, we like hip hop, and we keep getting people keep trying to put us into this pigeonhole or putting us into this genre, and we're none of those. And so they say the commercial success of their band struggled because that they didn't have a genre,
Yeah.
which is weird.
Yeah,
Like it
it's
really
kinda
doesn't
true.
make any sense.
I kind of like that they touch on a lot of genres. Actually, like
Yeah,
they're good.
I do too.
Listen, I love the band. I owned Morning View, which came out early 2000s.
interesting.
Really,
Okay.
really good album. Got a lot of play in my CD player.
what?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's a great album. The song "Wish You Were Here" is not on our list, but it's one of my favorite songs of theirs. It's
Awesome
a great,
song.
great tune. But they
Curi-
don't do quite as much
curious
DJing
name.
on that album. I got another beef with this
Purple
band. though.
Haze wasn't available.
Maybe it's just because I'm an amateur drummer of some sort. But have you seen these guys live? Did you YouTube them?
I didn't watch anything live.
Did anyone?
I never.
No, I
have.
only saw some like intimate, interactive, small concert,
Yeah, that would have been cool.
and they were
Was it acoustic?
Wow. That is the
crazy.
No, did
They were
you
crazy? Like all I remember is they're crazy talented, like good musicians.
did you notice how the drummer sets up? The drummer sets up sideways to the audience.
What?
Yeah, he points left or right
Like
to the
this?
stage. No. He actually
on his
sets up
side.
his
Like Tommy
drum
Lee?
set, points left or right.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and the reason he does that is so people could see him play, which is cool. But I don't like that.
No, I don't like that either. That's dumb.
Why, it's like fucking turn around.
Yeah.
Why you got to be so clever? Just
Yeah,
can you face
that's right,
front?
clever.
I don't like that at all.
I'll be the
great
first
drummer
one to
too.
do this.
He's a good drummer.
He's a great drummer.
Yeah.
Could you face front? I need your attention front, sir.
Yeah, if
not
you don't mind.
sideways, not
Yeah.
left or right.
No.
As a drummer, that bothered me. But other than that, they're a very good live band. I watched some of their YouTube stuff. Rock solid, man.
Okay.
And you know what? The DJ they got integrated in the back there, and live might work better than on the albums. I know I've just been shitting
Maybe.
on them for that, but
Well, I get that.
They're
I
good
mean,
band.
it's different. I mean, I don't have the answer to Cecil's question about what other rock bands have DJs. I don't. I mean, outside of like Beastie Boys, but that doesn't really count.
I think he said Limp Bizkit, which is the best
no, it
example of
wasn't
a
a question.
shitty.
I
a
just said
shitty-
I
Oh,
don't
you know
like
what?
it.
That's not
Sublime.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they're
Sublime.
Sublime, but I mean that's not bad because I know that they do.
Yeah.
Some of their stuff gets lumped into that new metal because they toured with Korn and 311 and stuff like that. I don't.
Sublime did or Incubus? Sorry.
Incubus did.
Did they?
Yeah.
They would have. God, that would have been weird because I don't
They
hear.
wanted to share a DJ.
I don't.
I totally
that-
hear
Right,
it.
save
that-
some
yeah,
dough.
but that's what's funny
Huh?
about the band. Like
They're heavy.
They played fucking Ozfest.
yeah.
Right?
Really?
They've played with suicidal tendencies, like it, and that's so. To go back to a question
They're
that
chameleons.
Morrow asked maybe 10 minutes ago is why I selected the band. That's exactly why I picked the band because I think there's a lot of people like the guy that I was talking to that saw them as just some radio
Yeah.
band that just pumps out hits and is no different than Maroon
they're-
5.
I didn't
they're
know they actually
totally
had a
not
lot of
that.
radio tunes.
dude.
I only had a Crow Left for
I
Murder.
get it, Huff.
Great album.
If-
That's why
I thought
was
they were pretty
searching. I
obscure.
was searching, trying to
good
figure
pick.
out why you'd pick
Yeah,
them. And I
good.
figured it out.
It's
Yeah,
a good.
good
It's a
job.
good pick.
Good choice.
The DJ doesn't wreck it for me overall.
Okay.
I think they're.
But he's close.
No.
Close.
He's
but
close.
He
He's
ruins
not
it.
an Axl Rose
No,
range,
no,
is he?
no.
Some of their songs would be better.
It doesn't ruin it for me.
Yeah.
I just don't. No need.
Yeah.
No need. You think
Exactly. Well put, Carlin.
No need.
it's- Okay.
That's personal favors,
Yeah.
buddy, but hey, Joey can't play an instrument, but he's fucking gets the good dope, man. That's fucking fun, DJ.
That's right. That's why.
exactly what happened.
Hey, or he's just a bro.
You should add
man.
that to the Wikipedia.
something.
Now,
Oh,
in all fairness, before we turn this mother
Yeah,
over to
fired
the
up.
brainchild here,
Oh, I gotta take my headphones off for this.
DJ Kilmore does play some piano and he plays some synth and
Oh, respect.
shit
Hey,
like that. So he does some other
respect.
shit in the band.
What's his
because
name again? DJ what?
DJ Kilmore.
That's not a bad name.
The guy that he replaced was DJ Life.
Oh, that's.
That's why they had to gas him.
Oh, you were gonna do it. Wow, you almost did it.
That's a lame name.
We're still on the air, boys. Okay, so that's Incubus. I don't know
flexing.
if I had to. You know what? I'm going to do this now. We didn't get a chance to do this with Fugazi, but if we had to do this with Incubus, if you had to pick one of the 5 songs, which is your favorite, or do you not like any of them?
I'm gonna go with Redefine. Unbelievable heavy riff.
It is.
Do you notice the guy looks like Garfunkel too? Do you notice that?
I thought he had long hair.
Well, he's kind of range, but he had
We're going with Rogues.
he's got that big red kind of afro thing.
Okay.
He got a
What's that?
Garfunkel going on for a while.
Is it Rogues or Rogue?
Pogues.
Rogues.
Rogues. Rogues. That's the best song by far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right, Morrow.
6 out of the world.
Oh, you like that?
Hold on.
I thought you
I
would
gotta
hate
tighten
that.
up my pants for more. This is gonna get crazy.
Okay, here we go.
Fuck off, man.
What? No, it's going to get
Morrow's hitting clean
He's
up.
getting
Here.
defensive.
Morrow's hitting clean up. No, this is
a great pick.
This is another interesting one because I've got a good kind of little Morrow story with this. So you
Well, the
take it.
Melvins are an interesting band. You know, you can't deny that they're not influential, but you also can't say they're fucking great.
Well, how long have they been around? Like 50 years or something.
1983.
Where are they from?
Where are they from, Huffman? You must know.
I don't.
California.
Are
I
they?
thought they're from
Cal-
Seattle.
I thought they were a Seattle or another DC band.
Yeah, I think they're a California band.
Oh, okay. Here, you do that. Well, I'm gonna text the research group here.
Yeah, you should. The thing about the Melvins is they have their hand in every music from grunge.
Mm-hmm.
There was no grunge when they were invented. When they were doing their whatever it was they were doing, sludge metal. What were they doing? Sludge metal, rock and roll.
What would be the word to define them if you could name one genre, which is probably impossible with the Melvins? What, sludge metal? That's pretty good.
That'd be tough with
that a-
three of these bands.
Is that a genre?
You can't name genre.
No,
in three
it's
of
not.
These bands.
It's a
not.
Melvins
It's
genre.
not. They were a metal band, and they just happened to be a good enough band to be buddies with Kurt Cobain and all those guys.
So they're from Montesano, Washington. So which I'm assuming
they're Washington.
is close. So not Washington D.C., but I imagine Montesano is somewhere in the Seattle range. Anyway,
So Dale Grover.
I don't know. It's your
Yeah.
fucking band,
Grover.
Jesus.
Yep.
Yeah. Grover. Great drummer. You've heard his drumming.
Dude, these guys are great musicians.
I don't know this band.
They're
You heard
amazing.
his drumming. It's pretty good.
I've heard his drumming now.
So he introduced Dave Grohl to Nirvana.
Really?
Yeah. And on Bleach, he plays on 3 Bleach songs on the Bleach album.
Okay, yes,
way.
I remember
Paper
you and I
cuts?
having. I remember you
Paper
and I
cuts?
having this conversation.
Paper cuts. That's why some drumming's better on some songs, because he's a far better drummer.
Yeah. He plays on 3 songs on that album. Like Paper Cuts is one of them. I don't know the others, like offhand. But so he introduced Kurt to Dave, which is an interesting thing, right? Like,
Yeah,
Dale's he's a caveman drummer.
He's a killer drummer.
He's a caveman drummer. It's like boom, bop, 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 boom, bop, 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 boom. Like it's just what he does. The Melvin.
If he did
Buzz
that,
Osborne is
it'd be shitty.
Buzz Osborne is a riff guy. Like he just riff after fucking riff.
yeah.
He can't sing worth a fuck. Okay, but you know
Oh,
what
he's
the
terrible.
funny thing is
Terrible.
about this band?
He's riffalicious.
You know what the funny thing about this band is?
What?
They started in 1983, and they released an album this year.
Yeah,
That is,
I remember seeing that on the release page
It's
when we were
bizarre.
looking at doing album reviews, and I'm like, this has to be a reissue.
yeah.
No, brand new.
Brand new.
Still
It's
doing
brand new material.
Dude, their range of music. Okay, so I will say one thing. They've got a lot of great songs, but they might have, and this isn't an indictment of your pick, they might have the most shitty songs of any band I've ever heard.
complete garbage.
Like, just awful stuff.
Just law of averages. Hey?
They got like 2 great songs on an album and like 8 dog shirt songs.
It is
Garbage.
It is funny that it's what was it, the line that Jim Rome used to use, give me an A or give me an F, right? Just give me an A or give me an F, and that's their stuff. It's like there's
Romy.
stuff on there's no B minuses or C pluses. Like there's like you say, some of the riffs. Like when I listen to these 5 songs, like Honey Bucket,
It sounds like
God,
Slayer.
Riffs are insane.
damn,
Doesn't
it is
that remind you of
so
Slayer?
Good. It is so good.
It is
Guitar sounds
so
so
heavy.
He puts
But
a lot of thought into
I
that.
want to tell you one thing.
Yeah.
Listen to Honey Bucket and think about James Hetfield in 1984. How he sang.
Like Kill 'Em All.
Yeah. And if you listen to Honey Bucket, how Buzz is singing,
Okay.
it's fucking identical.
Really? I didn't notice
Really?
that.
Okay.
Bizarre.
I listen. We're gonna do a re-listen, boys.
We're gonna do a listen after we sign off here.
A post-podcast
No,
re-listen.
it is bizarre
Yeah.
because they were metal. They were a metal band who got sucked into this grunge world, but they were always a metal band. They always will be a metal band. And if you listen to their 2021 songs, they're metal songs.
What's their new album like? Like, how would you rate it
Did
compared to their best stuff? Is it a good album?
And to go along with that, before you answer, included in that, I'd like to ask: did you listen to all their shit? Because don't they have like 400 albums?
They have there's too many albums.
Did you go through like all of it? Like, did you basically do your own
I tried to.
10 great songs? Like,
tried to.
300 hours of listening?
I tried to.
So the new album.
Yeah, did you listen to the new album?
The new album's an acoustic.
What?
What the hell?
Of course it is.
Did somebody lose their fuzz face?
It's all acoustic. That's insane. How do they do that?
They had to sell their amps for studio time?
And Buzz is a fucking oh man, Buzz is like if you love riffs, Buzz is the best.
Well, and
There's James, there's Buzz,
and some other guys.
there's some other guys.
there's some other guys.
All right.
But this goes along with, and this is what I wanted to say about this band, because again, I know nothing about the band outside of the little bit that I remember listening. You'd put a Melvins album on, and I remember Houdini. I remember you hit Houdini hard, and we'd be in your room and you would play it, and I fucking hated it.
What were you doing in his room?
That's none of your goddamn business.
That's fair.
Houdini. That and I was like, and I hate any Melvins you ever played. And it's funny because I listen to Honey Bucket now and I really, really like it. But in any event, at that time, I didn't really like it at all. However, I have to say, to this day, that Revolve is still probably one of the best riffs I've ever heard. It's one of the songs, regardless of
Yep.
of
It's one of the best metal tunes ever.
Ever.
Oh, come on.
Off of one of the best titled albums, Stoner
I've had
Witch.
it. So this is the thing. So I've had it on mixtapes. I've had it on mixed CDs. I've had it on iPods, and I now have it on Spotify. It's one of the very few songs I have always had. Like if I had to make a list of my favorite sort of metal songs or whatever of all time, I think this would be like top 3.
That song I can't get out of my head.
It's
I
so
knew
good,
it would
that
be
riff.
one of those because they've made a million songs, and that one, it just keeps making the list.
Nah, Revolve doesn't even belong in their top 50. Actually, no, it's a great song. That
It's
is
the Melvins law of averages.
That's amazing.
If we
song.
record 1,400 songs, one's going to be good.
but
Totally.
I get, yeah, exactly. It's just that they're throwing shit at the wall, and something's got to stick eventually, boys.
It's one of my favorite songs. Like, honestly,
It's so good.
like
It's fucking great.
I don't think it's ever, since the moment I heard it.
Bouncing Rick, that's a solid tune too. So, what's your favorite
Snap
off
Your
this list?
Finger, Snap Your Neck is up there too. With
Yeah,
You know what?
But
And I hate to
Prong.
say it, Prong was on my list too. I had I had Prong
Revolve
and
and Snap Your Finger, Snap Your Neck back to back. That is a metal mayhem disaster.
maybe that's something.
Call.
What happens if we tried to concoct a playlist? Even let's call it, maybe we do 10 songs or whatever. We sit down and we figure out the best 10 metal song playlists that you could
in.
ever come
there'll be
up
fist fights.
man.
There'll be fist fights.
with. There might be. There
There'll be
might be.
bloodshed. There will be blood.
But I think
There's no fucking Aerosmith on that.
I think we've got 2 really good solid
They're not so
contenders right
metal.
now.
I do think so.
I think those are 2 really,
in.
really solid contenders.
Let's
but
do it.
To answer your question, I mean, Revolve is obviously my favorite of the bunch.
Yeah.
Honey Bucket would be next.
Billy Fish is good.
I was just gonna say, the first time I heard Billy Fish, I was like, I don't know. I got to give that another listen. And then again, in the car with the appropriate amount of volume, and I listened to that, and I really got a chance to listen to it. then I was like, man, this is a great tune.
Yeah, you got
Great tune.
It's as much as the Melvins have a lot of dog shit. This 5-song list is unbelievable. Like these 20 songs are. This is like we're doing a public service again, boys.
Once again, we've done God's work.
Right? Amazing 20 songs. Here. Pat ourselves on the back, boys. Right
100%.
there. 100%.
Right? That was...
I fuck around. Never made it to the list.
oh, yeah. Well,
That was pretty good.
What was the Melvin song you had on the Christmas list? Up the
dumper.
Up the dumper.
I should have listened to that. I forgot.
Dumper.
Up
It's
the
a terrible
dumper.
song.
I never listened to it either.
No, that was Valentine's Day, wasn't it?
Oh, it was Valentine's. That's right.
Yeah.
That's not Christmas. That's
Which
got
reminds me,
Valentine's.
Valentine's Day is coming up, so we need to decide if we're going to go through all that again. But in any event,
Oh, yeah, we should.
Oh, yes.
We'll bring the love.
New
That you
format.
Too many promises. Over promising.
We need new format.
well, this is the problem. We got to start releasing an episode a week.
Yeah.
Like that's we've got so many great ideas and so little
Studio's
time.
open, boys.
Got our new studio. We
The
got our new research time. We got
studio.
new ideas. Shit. 2022 is looking up. Am I right?
It is looking up, and I was going to say, when you say about shit sticking to the wall, I do need to mention here. I know we need to wrap up, but Morrow ditched the slammer. What happened to the slammer, bud?
What the frick happened to the
I
slammer?
was like, I
Oh,
come
you
down.
guys made fun of me, so I got.
we were making fun.
I'm going to tell the story
You
about
said
the.
one of these things does not belong.
Can I tell the
So now
story
I
about
got
this?
it.
yeah,
A
I want to hear.
tornado.
I want to hear a guitar story. Go ahead.
Can I tell the story about the
reminds me-
tornado?
Yes, because Tornado of Souls is going on my metal list.
So I'm looking at guitars, and I'm not like,
Jesus Christ,
dog,
who's doing? Is someone doing a?
we got Moan in here.
Yeah, that's a bulldog, not Morrow.
Yeah, we're not running a 1-900 data line.
She's excited.
She is. Sorry, we have a dog. in
Anyways, Morrow's got this beautiful. It's unbelievable. It's the same finish as the Jaguar George Harrison plays in,
it's so
in Get
nice.
Back. Yeah, exactly.
so
Same
nice.
pick guard, same finish. But
there. I'm not a
anyways,
guitar guy, but that thing's
looking
unreal.
I was looking at guitars, showing Morrow guitars I like, not guitars I'm gonna buy. I'm like, dude, look at this guitar. A couple days later, oh fuck, man, look what just showed up at my door. I was on the phone with him, showed him that, click, ordered it, delivery to the house. Showed up a couple days later.
I
Loved
love
it so
it.
much.
No shit.
So I got a finder's fee. He let me play it first.
I should take a picture of that.
You should put that
That's
on.
one of the nicest
Beauty,
guitars
man.
I've seen. It's beautiful.
You should put that on Instagram. That is a beautiful. Don't give them the address, but that's a beautiful.
That's right.
guitar.
Well, we've already said it's not a smash and grab situation here.
That's right. It's like
Plus, now we've got
Fort Knox.
protection. We've got the bulldog.
Mona Lisa.
You're
Breathing
not
heavy.
going very
Hey,
far.
Bulldog.
She's making me uncomfortable at this point.
So there we go, boys.
She's a
Is there any closing remarks other than we've got lots of shit to discuss, but I think that was a solid, call it hour or whatever that was. Hopefully,
Yeah. All 4 bands, fantastic. I mean,
Hour to the minute.
Great picks, boys. Just fantastic list.
yeah. So again, hit that playlist, right? Go and find it. Don't go to Deezer though. O'Coin left us flapping in the breeze, but that's okay. We got you on Spotify, YouTube Music, and iTunes or Apple Music, iTunes. Holy hell, how old am I? So anyway, make sure you tell everyone that you know. Please tell them about Picks and Sticks, and if you want to get in touch with us, remember the email address: picksandstickspodcast@gmail.com. You also find us on social media. Instagram is Picks and Sticks Podcast. Twitter is Picks and Sticks 2. We've got great shit coming up in 22, right, boys? Hey?
Yeah.
All right, so make sure you hit subscribe so you always get the latest episode. And thanks for listening. It's 2022. Till next time, see ya!
That was really good. You guys got great.